Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Emergency Management Associates, coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. We want to welcome all of you here to our program tonight. As we've been doing for quite some time now, we're going to start off with a salute to the United States of America, and we're going to start off with the Pledge of Allegiance and then the nation's national anthem. I would ask everyone at this time to please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now would you make welcome straight from Washington, D.C., the United States Army Corps Quartet.
Yeah.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Oh yeah! Come on, folks, let them know it.
America's finest, the United States Army Barbershop Quartet, singing at the Barbershop Quartet Convention in 2015. The host of the Barbershop Quartet Convention gave us the nation's Pledge of Allegiance, and we appreciate that very, very much. Then the Barbershop Quartet came on and gave us the national anthem, and we very much appreciate that, gentlemen. We appreciate all of our men and women, servicemen, wherever they might be around this globe today, and our allies as well, wherever they might be. God bless you all, that you might return home to your families in safety after your tours of duty end. And thank you for your service, everyone. Folks, we have a lot to talk about, as we normally say. Folks, I first want to show you this. Look at this. This was a solar flare that erupted on what they call the backside of the sun. The backside of the sun. Had this erupted on the earth-facing part of the sun, folks, we would be probably not on the air right now. Why do I say that? This was a very powerful solar flare. We're presently in a solar maximum, ladies and gentlemen, a solar maximum. And what that means is we are seeing a lot of solar flares, a lot of coronal mass ejections, CMEs. We got hit with the CME plasma radiation this morning that was launched from the sun on Monday. We're still going to see after effects for that, or from that, for the next 3 to 4 days. Now, the only reason we are not seeing anything happen because of this CME here, that launched from the backside of the sun. It was not Earth facing. It went out into the galaxy, literally. But why are we seeing this picture here? Because the Europeans have a solar dynamic observatory out there, and within a very short time period, very short time period, this CME launched, and it hit and enveloped the satellite of the Europeans. It enveloped the satellite in the plasma radiation. Now, if this were on the Earth side facing, we would get hit with a very strong electromagnetic storm probably by Saturday. But that is not going to happen right now. It doesn't mean we won't have another CME or solar flare hit us or be launched from the sun anytime soon. That can still happen. But as for right now, we're not going to see anything again. The after effects of that CME solar mass ejection or coronal mass ejection that launched on Monday that just hit us now is going to last for a few days. Now, I've told you all what happens when this occurs. We continue to see the plasma radiation go through the magnetosphere surrounding the Earth that's supposed to slow down anything that's out in space coming at us, and our atmosphere slowing it down. But what this does, folks, the coronal mass ejection, the plasma radiation, comes and hits the Earth. Heat goes through our atmosphere, and it heats up the plates. It heats up the core of the Earth. This is quite a deal, okay? I'm telling you, it's just quite an experience. And a lot of people don't even understand it. I also tend to think that a lot of scientists don't understand it either. This solar physics lesson that we get every day as a result of events on the sun is fairly new to our scientists. It's been explored for a lot of years, probably 200 or 300 years. But with the present equipment that we have, our scientists now have a better hold on what is going on. And it will only increase as the days, weeks, and months go past us. But with every day that we have these experiences, we gain more and more knowledge about what is happening at our sun. So that's what happened there, okay? Now, I want to tell you about some other things that happened. When that solar flare lit up on Monday, okay, it's caused some earthquakes. It's caused quite a few earthquakes. One of the other things that happened, it caused a major earthquake, and it came out first as a 6.8 yesterday morning down at Vanuatu in the South Pacific. Okay, came out as a 6.8. Okay, but folks, it was not a 6.8. Okay, I'm telling you right now, it's not a 6.8. What I'm going to show you is it was a much larger quake. I want to show you some heliplots. Now, these heliplots are going to show us what happened. Literally. They're going to show us what happened yesterday morning. Okay? The first thing I want to show you right here, there was no tsunami connected with this 6.8 earthquake. Okay? The National Tsunami Center issued this information. Tsunami Information Statement number 1. The National Weather Service Pacific Tsunami Warning Center, Honolulu. No tsunami threat from a distant earthquake. That distant earthquake was in Vanuatu. Okay? An earthquake with a preliminary magnitude of a 6.8 occurred in the Vanuatu Islands at 1:45 a.m. SST on Wednesday, July 26th. Okay? Based on all available data, there is no tsunami threat to America Samoa from this earthquake, or Hawaii, or anywhere else. Okay? That's what came out. But we told you about the earthquake. It got downgraded to a 6.4, didn't it? Well, folks, guess what? I've got more information now. Okay? Look at this. This is a helioplot from Kivo, Finland. Okay? This is a helioplot from Kivo, Finland. Look at these lines at the top. These lines are still moving as of this morning, last night and this morning. You can see it. These horizontal lines are still moving. These are body wave measurements. Body wave measurements of yesterday morning's earthquake. Okay? This is from Kivo, Finland. Let me show you some more. This is from Spitsbergen, Norway. Spitsbergen, Norway. You see these lines, these horizontal lines, still moving here. I'm going to go over now and show you what is going on from Wilderness Preserve Center in Florida, Disney Wilderness Preserve in Florida. Look at these horizontal lines here. Again, you see movement. This is VLF movement caused by that huge earthquake. It was not a 6.8. This earthquake was a minimum of a 7.4. This was a major earthquake, not a very strong 6.8 or a 6.4 as they downgraded to. This was at least a 7.4 magnitude earthquake. All the data points to that. This is how it looked in Albuquerque, New Mexico this morning. Those horizontal lines are still moving. They're still moving today. This was at least a 7.4 major earthquake. Don't let USGS or anybody else tell you otherwise. All the data points, this comes from Hockley, Texas, all the data points to this as being a much larger major earthquake. Okay? Again, we've talked about what USGS wants us to believe or doesn't want us to believe. I just showed you evidence of what is actually going on. Okay? A major earthquake out of Vanuatu, and there's still movement down there today. There's still 5.0s and 5.5s that have hit Vanuatu today. Okay? That's a lot of information. Okay? Now, I'm bringing up this USGS map for a reason. Let me take down my banner here so you can see the world as I'm showing it to you. Okay? Over here in the mid-central Atlantic Ocean, this is a 5.1 magnitude earthquake over here in the Atlantic Ocean, the central mid-Atlantic, right between South America and Africa. Okay? Why did this happen? Because 2 days ago, we had a 5.1 down here in the South Sandwich Islands. That earthquake in the South Sandwich Islands moved east, and then it began moving up the Central Atlantic Ocean, the South Central Atlantic Ocean. It's moved over here into the Center Atlantic Ocean here. It's going to continue to move north. Okay? That was a pretty powerful large earthquake. All right? But over here in Vanuatu, okay, and there were a lot of other earthquakes here just about an hour or so ago, and USGS has taken these down. This is the latest large 5.0 earthquake in Vanuatu. Again, these are 6.2 miles deep, 10 kilometers deep. Okay? Why did these earthquakes happen? I explained this last night. Down south of Fiji last week, we had some very powerful deep earthquakes, and I told you then some of them were just minor, not minor, but moderate 4.5s, 4.7s, and 4.8 moderate earthquakes, but they were very deep earthquakes, 352, 400 miles deep. I told you then that we were going to get larger, stronger, shallower earthquakes out of those earthquakes that hit last week. And this is what's happened now. Okay? Not a 6.4, not a 6.8, but a 7.4 magnitude earthquake. And I'm talking minimums. I'm being very conservative with that calculation. Okay? Today, over in Tonga, okay? They're calling this south of the Fiji Islands. This is over south of Tonga. This is a 5.4 magnitude earthquake. This earthquake struck at 7:45 a.m. this morning, 7:43 a.m. this morning. Also a 4.4 over here. This was 357 miles deep. 357 miles deep. A 4.4 moderate earthquake. Folks, with that kind of depth to this earthquake, we're going to see at least a 5.8 to a 6.0 shallow earthquake as a result of this 4.4 south of Tonga. Again, we can't look at these earthquakes as USGS wants us to see them. These are not south of Fiji necessarily. They would be southeast of Fiji, absolutely. But these are south of Tonga. South of Tonga. This 4.4 deep earthquake is going to give us a 5.8 to a 6.0 earthquake sometime in the next 7 to 10 days. And it could happen as early as 72 hours from now. We have one more earthquake over here in Tonga. Okay? Folks, this hit yesterday evening when we were on the air. It hit at 8:28 p.m. when we were on the air. This is a 5.5 magnitude earthquake, a shallow earthquake, 10 kilometers deep, 6.2 miles deep. Okay? And then tonight, we have another large earthquake here, and this is also 10 kilometers deep. Okay? Now look at this. They're not showing one earthquake over here in Indonesia or the Philippines. That is an absolute fabrication on the part of the United States Geological Survey. There are about 25 earthquakes here in Indonesia and the Philippines today. I've been monitoring this all day long. They should not be able to get away with this. Okay? I've shown you earthquakes here before. This is ridiculous that they would even think that they could get away with this nonsense, and that's exactly what it is. It's cotton picking, out and out nonsense. Okay? It's baloney. This agency just thinks, because they're the largest, strongest earthquake organization in the world, that they can say what they want, and they can't. Sorry, they can't, and we're not going to let them. Okay? Now, there was one other earthquake here that I wanted to show you here in Vanuatu. Actually, several earthquakes. Okay? Several earthquakes here in Vanuatu. Okay? We told you about this 5.0 earthquake that just hit. 5.0 earthquake that just hit. These earthquakes that are violet colored are earthquakes that happened today. Here's another 5.0 earthquake. That's another 5.0 earthquake. This one just south of there. This is a 5.3 magnitude earthquake. Yet they show one lousy earthquake. Over here, this happened at 3:32 a.m. this morning. It's a 4.6. It happened after 3 a.m. this morning. And this other earthquake here, this is a 4.9, 5.0. This happened at 5:05 a.m. this morning. 4.9, 5.0 earthquake. Okay? It happened just after 5:05 a.m. So, folks, they're showing us 3 large earthquakes here. There's actually 4 of them. There's actually 4 5.0 to 5.3 earthquakes here in Vanuatu today. Yet they don't want us to see that. Why? Why don't they want us to see it? This is ridiculous. We pay our taxes, guys. We pay our taxes. And yes, we're not allowed to see what's going on. That's what's happening over here in Indonesia and the Philippines today. They're showing no such activity at all. There's also an earthquake over in southwestern Australia. Jack it up, Australia. It's a 2.55. This is a 2.55 magnitude earthquake here in southwestern Australia. Jack it up, Western Australia. Okay? Why? What do they think they're getting away with? Okay? What do they think they're getting away with? Parpuran, Sumatra, Indonesia. There's a 2.27. And no, I'm not going to sit here and show you earthquakes in Indonesia. I'm not going to do it. Okay? I think it's ridiculous we have to do this. Japan. Japan. We see 4 earthquakes here. 4 earthquakes here. What the heck is going on here? They're showing us one right here. This is down in the Izu Islands, southeast Japan. A 4.8 magnitude earthquake, 220 miles deep. Another deep earthquake. That deep earthquake is going to cause a 5.5 earthquake. It's going to cause a stronger, much shallower earthquake of a 5.5 sometime in the next 72 hours to 10 days. Okay? And that earthquake could be here in Japan, or it could go up into Kamchatka Peninsula, we're going to see. Today, just north of Hokkaido. This is in the southern Kuril Islands, Kuril Islands, belonging to Russia. This is a 5.3 earthquake, 52 miles deep, down in the magma, in the plastic magma called the asthenosphere. Okay? Why don't they show us this? All instincts would think that they would show us everything. Now, a large earthquake just got through hitting here. This is over in northeastern India. This is a 5.0 earthquake. 6.2 miles deep, 10 kilometers deep. A 5.0 earthquake in northeastern India. Okay? Incredible. You see earthquakes here in Alaska. Okay? They're still not showing us everything going on. Okay? Over here is 0.3 west of Adak, Alaska. A microquake. It's happened at a volcano, guys. This poor microquake happened at a volcano, 4.1 miles deep. Okay? Across the ocean front. This is a 0.4 here. This is 1.1 miles deep. 0.4 microquake a mile deep. Okay? But they're still not showing everything. Okay? Over here, I'm going to go over here closer to the Alaska Peninsula. Down here in the Alaska Peninsula, guys, Shishaldin volcano erupted again. A 33,000 foot blast of Shishaldin volcano. That big, huge, symmetrical volcano. 33,000 foot blast. Okay? Incredible. Incredible. Where you see these blasts, there's got to be a 5.0 earthquake in there, because that's what it causes. Now you see these other earthquakes over here. These could be aftershocks of that major earthquake that we had here just off of Sandpoint, Alaska. This is a 2.7 near, they say 42 miles northeast of Chignik, Alaska. Okay? Further north, that's a 2.0 near Ugashik. This is a 2.4 near Ugashik, Alaska. You can see all these other earthquakes down here. Okay, again, we have swarms of earthquakes down here near Old Ililama volcano. Yes, they're hitting all over Old Ililama volcano down here. Up here, what do we have here? This is Tadalek, Alaska, north of Mount Redoubt. This is a 1.4 tremor. Just west of there is 1.6. North of there, this is 1.2, and they say this is north of Valdese, Alaska. Okay. All right. North of Valdese, Alaska. Okay. Over here, Susitna, Alaska. This is 1.0 near Willow. This is north of Anchorage. This is a 1.4 near Houston, Alaska, also north of Anchorage, Alaska. So we have earthquakes hitting here. Over on the southeastern side of Denali National Park, we have a 1.9. I won't even tell you what USGS says this is near. It's not. It's in Denali National Park. Okay? Over here on the northwestern side of Denali, they have a 1.4, and this time they say it's southeast of Denali. It's not. It's over on the northwestern side of Denali National Park. This earthquake is in, they say, northeast of Petersville. It's not. It's in Denali National Park. They're stupid. They think we're stupid. Over here, this is over here in northwestern Alaska, near Chugnik, Alaska. This is also near a volcano. This is a 2.4 magnitude earthquake 39 miles west of Chugnik, Alaska. Okay, now this is the northernmost earthquake that we have here in Alaska. We don't have anything over in the Arctic Circle area, and we don't have anything over near the oil pumping region in Kattegat. Okay, don't have it. Now I told you that we're going to be talking about the Cascadia subduction zone, and we are in just about a minute. Down here in southeastern Alaska, Yakutat, Alaska. This is a 2.2 magnitude earthquake. A 2.2 magnitude earthquake. Well, glory be. Guess what? Look, it's also hit here. They're showing one earthquake. Look at all the earthquakes that are actually hitting here. Interesting how USGS doesn't want us to show what's going on. Okay? A lot of earthquakes here. I'm going to start in the south here. A 2.2, a 1.8, another 1.86, a 1.21, and a 1.2. Okay? I went from south to north here. Alright? Then, I'm going over into Canada because this hit this afternoon at 4:51 p.m. Eastern Time. This hit up 56 miles east of Dawson, Yukon territories, a 4.4. A 4.4 up here in the Yukon territories. Okay? Heaven forbid we get the truth. Okay? Because we're not. I don't think we will ever get the truth from this agency. I don't believe that they know what the truth is. Okay? I don't think so. Now, I'm going to show you another earthquake because this is in the Cascadia subduction zone region, and USGS, sorry, they don't give a flying rat's butt. Okay? There's two earthquakes south of Queen Charlotte Island right here. They're not on here. These earthquakes are on the Juan de Fuca Fault. They're on the Juan de Fuca Fault, guys. There's a 3.65 and a 3.2. 3.65 and a 3.2 over here on the Juan de Fuca Fault. Isn't it interesting how USGS would not let us see that? Okay? It's almost in between Queen Charlotte Island and Vancouver on the Juan de Fuca Fault in the Cascadia subduction zone region. It's stupidity, guys. This is stupidity. I have a hard time understanding how they can get away with this. Okay? Now, over here in Canada, Abbotsford, Canada, we have a 1.1. Just a 1.1 tremor here. Just southeast of there, a 1.34. Still in Canada. Then, as we move over to or towards Vancouver Island, this happens to be Loomy Island. Loomy Island. This is a 2.52 in Loomy Island, Washington. And I'm going to bring up the seismogram and show you that earthquake in Washington. Loomy Island, Washington, a 2.52 earthquake. And one other one. This is in northern Oregon, Scotts Mill, Oregon. This is a 1.58. This is a 1.58 tremor in northern Oregon. But again, Why are they not showing us all the other earthquakes here in the Pacific Northwest? Because they don't have to. They believe that they don't have to show us that. In northeastern Washington, a 2.06 in Sprague, Washington. Sprague, northeastern Washington. Okay? Now, I'm only going to show this to you because it seems that these earthquakes are in a north-south lineup, almost straight north and south. Townsend, Montana, a 1.37 earthquake. We go south. This is a Hoback, Wyoming, a 1.24. We go south again. This is Francis, Utah, northern Utah. This is a 1.84 tremor. We go further south. Henryville, Utah. This is a 2.09 magnitude earthquake, minor earthquake. 4 earthquakes lined up almost straight in a row, north to south. Just west of that, there are 2 earthquakes here that I'm going to show you. Stanley, Idaho at 2.08 and Stanley, Idaho a 1.75. Okay? Stanley, Idaho, Challis, Idaho area is in the western, or is on the western side of the Yellowstone magma chamber. That magma chamber, 11 Grand Canyons in size. 11 Grand Canyons in size. I showed you earthquakes from around the world yesterday. I showed you earthquakes in California yesterday. So what we're going to do now, we're going to concentrate on earthquakes in Washington, Oregon, and Northern California. Most of the earthquakes are going to be in the Pacific Northwest. However, we're also going to show you the volcanoes in Northern California, Shasta and Lassen. Mount Shasta and Mount Lassen, folks. That's what we're going to concentrate the majority of our program on tonight. The Pacific Northwest. Earthquakes. Literally all over. Okay? Literally all over. Now, I first want to tell you where we're going to go with this. Okay? I'm going to go over to northwestern Washington. I want to start with northwestern Washington. Why? Because the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network has been not showing us all the earthquakes. The slow slip earthquakes. Okay? Loomy Island. I showed you USGS, or the EMSC, excuse me, not USGS, but the EMSC said we had an earthquake. Loomy Island. Okay? Yes, we did. This is a Pacific Northwest Seismic Network seismograph. The top of this one starts at 5 p.m. yesterday afternoon, and it goes through until 5 p.m. today. This earthquake here, okay, let me enlarge it so you can properly see it here. This earthquake here hit just after 12, I'm sorry, not 12. I'm bad boy, bad boy. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for me, bad boy, bad boy? This happened just before 8:45 a.m. this morning. This happened at about 8:20, actually not 8:45. Yeah, 8:45. This happened at 8:44 a.m. this morning. About 8:44 a.m. this morning. And they only called this a 2.82 earthquake. Folks, this is nearly a 3.0. Yes, there is a difference between 2.82 as the US or the EMSC said it was to 3.0. I believe this probably is closer to a 3.0 earthquake. Loomy Island. Okay, this is northwestern Washington State. You can see all the other tremors here. Okay, we're showing you all the other tremors besides that earthquake. Now there's a lot more than that. Okay, I want to show you a lot more. I'm going over to Grays Harbor, Washington. Look at this. Okay, yesterday afternoon, you see earthquakes. Yesterday, actually, 5 p.m. is actually evening time, if you want to really get serious about it. You can see all the tremors that happened yesterday evening. Then it quieted down until this morning. Just after 7 a.m. this morning. Look at this. We've got a 3.0 here. A 3.0 Arctic Washington. Okay? Look at that. A 3.0 earthquake was only shortly lived. Maybe only had a second of life. But 1 second in time, we have a 3.0 earthquake. Yes, it's on the small side. 3.0 is a small earthquake. But folks, when you consider all the tremors here, this is a substantial earthquake today. And over to the right, you can see a 2.2, 2.3 earthquake, and then it gets larger than that. At least a 2.5 magnitude earthquake. And yes, there was some tremor buildup to that earthquake. And then after that, you can see a secondary wave. Okay? Then after that, all you see there is a body wave. You can see these earthquakes continuing. Minor tremors continuing on down that line here. And you can see tremors happening the rest of the day. Okay? That's Gray Harbor, Washington. Now, I want to take you over to Guemes, Washington. Guemes, Washington. Look at this, guys. Tiny earthquakes. These tiny tremors. Then we have nearly another 3.0 earthquake here. Okay? It started off with a little bit less than that, but the main earthquake was nearly a 3.0 earthquake. Then you see nothing but tremors here. Let's see here. Edison Elementary School in Bow, Washington. Look at this. This is a lot of tremors. Yes, there's a couple 2.0 earthquakes here as well. But they say there are no tremors in Washington. They are telling us on the map that there's nothing to see. I beg them to differ. Okay? This is happening in Washington. This is part of the Cascadia megathrust earthquake region. You're seeing here, there is slow slip happening here. but heaven forbid that they would ever admit to it. Okay? I have issues with that. Real big issues with that. Now, some people might think that I'm a little hard-hearted. I am trying to make sure that you guys have information so you can make plans for yourself when something happens. Folks, if I don't tell you this, nobody else is. And then, when you don't know about this and there's a larger earthquake, you're going to say, why not? Why did we not know that there were larger earthquakes going to happen? Well, in this seismogram alone, all those swarms that happened today here, there's a reason. Swarms are signs of larger incoming quakes. Larger, stronger incoming quakes. And that's what we see here. That's exactly what we're seeing here. Okay? Now, let's continue here. Let's take a look at Radar Ridge, LaSalle, Washington. Look at this, guys. We had the seismogram going here. Then we had some tremors, and then they turned the seismograph off. They turned it off.
Location Northern Peru. Last light magnitude 4.2 8 minutes ago.
4.2 in southern Peru 4 minutes ago. But they turned this seismograph off for an hour. When it came back on, we had a 3.0 earthquake. We had a 3.0 earthquake. Okay? 3.0 earthquake at approximately 11:32 a.m. or excuse me, 11:32 p.m. last night. And yes, we had quite a few other earthquakes here. 2.0s, 2.5, some 2.2s, and tremors here. A lot of tremors here. Okay? What's going on? Janelle apparently is leaving us until next time, Ron. She's going to take off. Janelle, I was hoping you'd be here for the entire program. Okay? Wait till you see what happens next. I'm going to go over to the law enforcement unit for the Washington Department of Food and Fish and Wildlife. Okay, look at this. This seismogram is full of tremors. This is on the coast of Washington. This is tons of tremors. They're not going to show it on the seismogram. Or they show it on the seismogram, but they're not showing it on the map. Why not? Why not? Show a couple. Show a couple of them. And then say there's more. But they're not showing them there. Let's go to look at Willapa Harbor Golf Course. Willapa Harbor Golf Course. Wonder what happened there. Right here. Look at the tremors, guys. Every one of these are tremors. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 tremors here. And you want to count the little tiny ones? There's 19 tremors here. 19 tremors. Okay? PNSN isn't showing much of anything here. Not much of anything. Why not? Why the heck not, USGS? Why the heck not PNSN? Why are you not being honest with all of us? Yes, all of us would like answers. We really would. All of us would like answers. Now, I want to show you something. Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to show you the present day tremor map. Hold on. Let me show you this.
Location of coast of Chiapas, Mexico. Class light magnitude 4.0.
4.0 just off the coast of Chiapas, Mexico just now. Okay, let me show you this. This is all they're showing in Washington. Right in the Puget Sound area, guys. The Puget Sound. There's a ton of earthquakes here, right? Oh yeah, there's 217 epicenters right here. I just gave you a bunch more. Lumi Island, Quemas Island. There's a lot more where that came from. There's a lot more where that came from. 217 right here. And that's all. There's nothing else but right there. Okay? Now, I tried to bring you a seismogram from Mount Baker. I have one from Shuxon. This is the seismogram from Shuxon. Shuxon is a ski resort at Mount Baker, and this is the only seismogram that I could find because they have all the other seismographs shut down. This is a 5-channel seismograph. All the other channels are shut down. Why? Pacific Northwest Seismic Network, why? We would like answers. Why the seismographs are shut down. Okay? I tried to show you the main seismogram at Mount Baker. It's been shut down for probably close to a month or more. This one here is the VOF channel, the HHN channel at Shuxon. We're showing a lot of magma infill coming into this volcano. All these wavy lines indicate magma coming into Mount Baker. And yet they don't want us to see the earthquakes coming from Mount Baker. Now, on this same seismogram, we're seeing some tremors. That line over on the center right, the lower center right of this seismogram, okay, that's a 2.0 magnitude earthquake at Mount Baker. At Mount Baker this morning. And you see there's a lot of magma coming in. Literally, last night, okay, the most magma that was coming in was just after 5 p.m. yesterday. And it continued. You can see the magma continuing here. Then, early this morning, look what we have to show you here. The magma came in flying. That's a lot of magma. And yet they don't want us to see the other seismograms. Why not? Why not? Okay? I continue to ask that. The seismograph at Glacier Peak is shut down. Okay? We had a 3.5 earthquake at Glacier Peak the other day. But we can't get into Glacier Peak to show you a seismogram showing anything going on at Glacier Peak because they've got the thing shut down. Why? What is so special at Glacier Peak they don't want us to see? Inquiring minds would like to know. Now, I'm going to go over to Mount Rainier. I believe you guys want to see what is happening at Mount Rainier. Everybody would. Okay? I just noticed that they kept me from showing you Mount Rainier tonight, or today. Well, guess what? I'm going to show it to you anyway, because I'm going to go bring it up right now, again. Just give me a second, guys. I'll get Mount Rainier for you here. I'm going to show you Camp Sherman. Okay, I'm going to show you Camp Sherman. I'm going to show you Camp Muir. Emerald Ridge, the seismograph is off. It's completely blank tonight, or all day today. Para has a seismograph, but it's not really showing us, seismogram, it's not really showing us anything. And the Para, which is the precipitation post at Mount Rainier, on the southeast side of Mount Rainier, the seismograph is basically shut down because they're showing us a seismogram, but they're not showing us the spectrogram, the heat there. So that's shut down. I can show you Mount Fremont. Rainier, Mount Fremont. Okay. Okay, let me show you Mount Rainier here. Okay, this is Camp Muir. Okay, look what's going on here at Camp Muir. It's busy. It's busy. There's a lot of magma coming into this volcano. You can see it. These lines are not very thick, but there's magma coming in because we can see these tremors and quakes. Minor earthquakes, but quakes. Okay? Where there's quakes, there's fracturing rock. Why do we have fracturing rock? Because the incoming magma is coming in under pressure, fracturing the rock inside of Mount Rainier. And that's what we're seeing here. Okay? Look at that. Now, in this, we've got an earthquake here. It's on a light blue line here. Okay? It's just, it's just after 7:15 this morning. It's over here on the right. Okay? So this would be about 7:20 this morning. This is a 2.2 magnitude earthquake, minor earthquake. And above it on the dark blue line, that's also about a 2.2 magnitude earthquake. So we're having earthquakes. And over here on the left, look at the earthquakes here. Okay? This is just after 6:15 this morning. About 6:16 this morning, we have two back-to-back earthquakes. Okay? About 2.3 earthquakes. And we have a bunch of tremors here. Okay? You're also seeing a bunch of magma lumps coming in. Okay? Then, this is this afternoon, just after 3 o'clock. Look at these earthquakes here. Okay? Just minor earthquakes. There's one blob here that's probably a 2.4, 2.5 earthquake, but there's several of them. Why? Because there's magma coming in, fracturing rock, causing the earth to move there. And just below that on the dark blue line there, that's probably a 2.5 earthquake. Every time we have earthquakes here, it's because of fracturing rock inside the volcano caused by incoming magma. Magma under pressure here at Mount Rainier. Okay? Let me show you another one here at Mount Rainier. I've got several here I can show you. Okay, that was Camp Sherman. No, that was Camp Muir. Let's show you Camp Sherman. This is Camp Sherman. Okay, I'm going to show you this morning, then I'm going to scroll down and show you the rest of the day. Okay, yes, we have some tremors. We also have some 2.0 earthquakes caused by magma infill. Magma coming into this volcano. You can see it. This is a very busy seismogram. Okay? You can see these earthquakes, you can see the tremors on every line here. If there's a line without a tremor on it, meaning there is no dot on it, that is, if it's a tiny line, that is a steam signature. Steam coming from the volcano. Now, I'm showing you what we call a magma churn signal here. That sideways rectangle. These churn signals typically are 23 to 24 lines high. Let's see how tall this one is. Okay? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines high. That means this seismogram is only showing us 26% of real world. 26% of real world. Okay, that's sad. That's very sad. Yes, we're showing some 2.5, 2.8 earthquakes here at the bottom. If there's a vertical line here that does not have a dot in it, that is a steam signature. Vertical lines without dots indicate steam. Steam happening at the volcano. Okay? That's Mount Rainier. Let's go look at Mount St. Helens. This is Sugar Bowl, Mount St. Helens. All of these blue seismograms here are the USGS seismograms. Okay? Let me enlarge this so I can show you what we're seeing here. Okay, again, this seismogram starts off at 2000 hours, which is 8 p.m. last night. And there's not a whole lot going on. There are some tremors here. There are some tremors indicating magma coming into this magma chamber. Okay? You see a couple of 2.2 magnitude earthquakes here. The lighter blue here. You see some lines going through these magma blobs and these other magma signatures here on this seismogram. You see some lines going through those. Those are tremors as a result of the seismic energy hitting the volcano, causing earthquakes. Okay? The seismic energy here at these volcanoes is going through the magma chamber and causing tremors as it breaks up the magma rock inside the volcano, causing magma uplift. And you might see the volcano is growing. Now, I want to show you this earthquake over here on the bottom right here. Why? Because one, the length of it. Okay? This earthquake happened just after, I want to say 2:27 a.m. this 2:27 p.m. this afternoon. Okay? Dark blue earthquake. The bottom and the top of this seismic signature is cut off, isn't it? They don't want us to know how strong it is. This seismic event lasted just about 45 seconds. How can we tell that, Ron? Because of the wideness, the thickness of that earthquake. The width of the earthquake. Then over on the right-hand side, we can see the secondary wave lasting over about a minute, minute and a half. This indicates to me that this probably, it shows here maybe a 2.3 earthquake. It shows this earthquake could be larger than that. Maybe even a 3.0 earthquake. But we can't tell how strong this seismogram is. Okay, we don't have a magnitude on this, but I will bet you that it's probably turned down to about 36%, maybe. Maybe. Okay, I've shown you Rainier, I've shown you Mount St. Helens. Let's go and take a look at Mount Hood. Mount Hood is basically a quiet volcano as of late. Okay, this is Timberline. This is on the south lower side of the volcano. This is Timberline. Up at the top of it, it shows some activity happening yesterday evening. Okay? were having some minor earthquakes there yesterday evening. Off and on all evening long. At one point they turned off the seismograph. Turned it off. Then they turned it off again this afternoon. Inquiring minds would like to know why. Why did you turn it off? What was the point of turning it off? There's no point. You see there's a lot of magma coming into this volcano, and they turn it off. Again, they don't want us to see something. But you can see a lot of magma coming into the magma chamber here. Okay? Let's move on. Let's show you one or two more here at Mammoth, or at Mount Hood. Okay. How about Tom, Dick, and Harry? Tom, Dick, and Harry is a mountain. Tom, Dick, and Harry is a mountain along the same ridge as Mount Hood. Okay? Look at the earthquakes and tremors here. That's really something. That just after 10 o'clock this morning. Then we have a magma churn signal, lucky enough yet to have one here. Let's look at it. The magma churn signal is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines high. 23% of real world. And it has some vertical lines off to the right. Those vertical lines are called steam lines, steam signatures, steam escaping Mount Hood. And you can see the tremors here. Mount Hood is about spent. It appears that they took Mount Hood and took its, what shall I say, activity down. Okay? Besides not being accurate in the time and what is going on with the volcano, why are they not showing that? Okay? Folks, and it doesn't matter whether it's this volcano or another one. Most people want it to be seen. They want to understand what's going on at these volcanoes. They're not saying. Okay? I previewed all of this stuff this morning. If they don't want us to see it, why are they even showing it? Okay? Yes, we want to see it. We want to see all of this all the time. Not delayed, not put off, not shown. Show us everything. Nobody's going to get offended. People want to know. Okay? Let's continue on here. It's already almost 8 o'clock. I have maybe 30 to 45 minutes left on this show. Okay? I've shown you Helens, I've shown you Mount Rainier, I've shown you Mount Hood. Let's go south. Okay? One of the volcanoes that's south of here. Oh, let's see here. Oh, this is really weird. Okay. Let's show you Sisters Volcano. Okay? I want to show you Newberry, but I can't find it here. So they stopped me from showing you Surveyor's Cove. They stopped me from showing you any of the seismic activity that's going on at Newberry Volcano. It is going. It's very active. This is Sisters Volcano, guys. Sisters Volcano. Last night it was very busy. Then it slowed down. Okay? It definitely slowed down. Or they turned it down. Turned it down where nobody's seeing anything. Then, what happened this afternoon? All of a sudden we see earthquake activity again. Okay? This started happening after 2 p.m. this afternoon. You see about a line and a quarter here completely filled. There is no paper there. That's because of magma coming into the magma chamber and getting stopped by a citizen taking important information. Getting important information about what's going on with this volcano. And you can see some tremors after that, can't you? You can see a lot of that magma here that's getting eaten up. Okay, the magma is coming up. What do I mean by eating up? The magma is coming up. They're not showing all the magma here. And what's going on? They're not being honest with us. Who's with this seismogram? Who's looking out the windows of the observatory? Okay? All we know is there's activity here at Sisters Volcano. Look at that. There's actually 3 volcanoes here. Sisters North, Sisters Central, and Sisters East, or South. Okay? That's what we're looking at here. A lot of magma coming into that volcano early this morning. Okay? Let's continue south. I wanted to show you Crater Lake. And we're going to show you Crater Lake. This is Crater Lake over on the northeast side of the volcano. Crater Lake Cleetwood Cove. CLCV. Okay? Look at this magma this morning. Actually late last night, early this morning. Look at all that magma. Then they turn down or shut off the seismograph because we're not seeing much of anything after midnight. We're hardly seeing anything after midnight. We're seeing a little bit, but not much. Then they turn it off. Whatever reason. And we didn't start to see activity again until late this afternoon. About 2:15 this afternoon, we see some activity here. Okay? Look at all this magma activity at this volcano. Glory be. All that activity at Cleetwood Cove. Okay? Let's look at the northeast side of the volcano. Let's see here. let's see. Okay, apparently Mount Scott, I thought I got something from Mount Scott, but apparently not. No seismogram from Mount Scott. Mount Scott is over on the southeast side of Crater Lake. But Wizard Island, this is Wizard Island. Wizard Island, we cannot completely take it as truth though. The Wizard Island seismograph is left out in the elements. Pain registering from the snow hitting this seismograph, that can alter it. Snow being on and around this seismograph can react to this, make that seismograph tell us about it. Activity. Magma activity can tell us something about it too. But as you can see, there is some magma being registered here at Wizard Lake. Wizard Lake is it appears to be an island here at Crater Lake, but it's not. It's over on the southeast side or southwest side of the lake. Yes, it looks to be an island. However, it's not. The top of the volcano is now showing out of the water. And you could actually go up and touch it. Yes, it would probably feel warm. But this earthquake has not moved anything. Okay? There have been no seismic details showing us any movement at Timberlake affecting the movement of the volcano at this location. Okay? But the other places, Crater Lake there does, and occasionally when Mount Scott is available it does, but rarely are they showing us what is going on over at the bunkhouse or Mount Scott. They just don't want to be here. This is South Central Oregon. South Central Oregon here at Crater Lake. Now let's cross the border into California. Let's go see what they have to show us at Mount Shasta. Okay? I just love showing you this. Okay? This is one of the seismograms coming from the south flank. The south flank of Mount Shasta. I'm going to show you some interesting signatures here. Magma signatures at this volcano. Okay? Look at this. We see some tremors, don't we? Last night we had some magma there at Mount Hood. We had some tremors here. Literally off and on all day long here. Some taller than others, indicating strength of seismic activity at this volcano. Okay, let me show you another seismogram. Let's see. No, that's not it. Come on, Shasta, where'd you go to? Look at this, guys. Just some tiny tremors here last night, yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening. Okay? Then right after midnight, we have a tremor and just a lot of nothing going on. Until later this morning.
Location, Sulawesi, Indonesia. Last flight magnitude 4.1, 11 minutes ago.
Sulawesi, Indonesia, at 4.1 a few minutes ago. Okay? Look at this tremor activity here. There's magma coming into the magma chamber causing the tremors. Okay? That's what's going on. Look at this amount of magma coming into the magma chamber here. It took about 45 minutes of movement to show this activity. Okay? And you see continuous earthquakes here. Just tremors. Continuous tremors here. Alright, let me show you another one here. Now, let's see. Okay, this one. This is showing a lot of activity early this morning. A ton of it. A bunch of tremors and earthquakes happening from the magma that's coming in to the magma chamber here. That's an awful lot of earthquakes. Down here at the bottom you see the same thing. Why nothing in the middle? Did it die out or something? Inquiring minds want to know. Okay, how about Mount Lassen? Let's go take a look at Mount Lassen. And folks, quite honestly, I got more seismographs out of Mount Lassen than I did Shasta. Okay? Folks, this is Mount Lassen here. Look at that. This is a ton of energy here. Okay? You're seeing earthquakes here at Mount Lassen. You're also seeing these lines with no little dot in the middle of them. Those are steam signatures. Steam signatures. And if you see a line with a curly Q on it, a vertical line with a curly Q, that's going to be a steam signal as well. But you see an awful lot of earthquake activity. Okay? Look at that. We haven't seen this much activity in Shasta for a very long time. Then over here on the right, you see a long red line. The red lines on this seismogram are computer generated to get the attention of the seismologist to say, hey, look at this. This earthquake started at 10:44 a.m. this morning. 10:44 a.m. this morning. This was a 3.5 4.0 earthquake at Mount Shasta. Okay? I'm sorry, this is Mount Lassen. We changed to Mount Lassen. This is at Mount Lassen. This is the 3.5 4.0 earthquake at Mount Lassen. And look at these other earthquakes as well. Okay? That's a lot of information. Okay? These these volcanoes are part of the Cascade Mountain volcanoes. Okay? The southern end of the Cascade Mountain volcanoes. Northern California. That's Mount Lassen. Now quickly, I'm going to take you over to Mammoth in East Central California. East Central California. Mammoth still has snow, guys. Mammoth still has snow. They're going to close for the season in August. They're not going to do any more skiing on Mammoth Mountain after August 8th. Look what we're showing here. Mammoth Mountain last night. starting at 2 p.m. yesterday afternoon. This is a lot of tremors, isn't it? Then, okay, then yesterday evening, and this after 19:45 p.m., which is 7:45 p.m., and over here on where this short red line here is, that's about 7:50. I want to say what? 7:55 p.m. A 2.2 magnitude earthquake. And then later, last night, we see that 2215 line over on the far left-hand side, and over here on the right. That, folks, is about 10, I want to say 10:36 last night. That's a 2.3 earthquake. And then over here at just after (11 p.m. last night, about 11:01, 11:02 last night, there's another 2.0 earthquake. Then it either calms down or they turn down the seismograph, because for quite some time we don't see anything more than tiny dots here on the seismograph. Okay, that's all. Then they turn it back up again. And look what we have the rest of the day today. That's a lot of magma coming into the magma chamber, and it's generating earthquakes and tremors because the magma coming into the magma chamber is fracturing the rock inside the volcano. That's an awful lot of magma input into the volcano. Magma infill. Mammoth Mountain, guys. How about Long Valley? Would you like to see Long Valley today? I hope you will. Look at that. Look at this, guys. Long Valley is very active, isn't it? Long Valley is a super volcano. This seismogram started recording data at 2 p.m. yesterday afternoon. Look here. These are just not 2.0 earthquakes. 2.8. 2.8 earthquakes. Yes, we have tremors here as well. Okay, then it calms down again. Maybe they turn the seismograph down. Then this morning, look what happens. I believe they turn the seismograph back up because we all of a sudden have thicker lines here. We all of a sudden have thicker lines. They turn the seismograph back up. Now, folks, just after about 5:11 this morning, we have a 3.0 earthquake. We have a few of those. Look at the lines here, they're thicker lines. That is magma infill coming into the magma chamber. Thicker lines getting thinner and then getting thicker again. Magma pulse signals. Magma pulse signals. And you can see earthquakes here. Look at this earthquake after 1300 hours this afternoon. That is about 1:02 p.m. this afternoon. That's a 3.0 earthquake all day long. Okay? Long Valley volcano. I've shown you every volcano north of Central California now. The major volcanoes north of Central California. East, west, north, and south. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Storm Rider is talking about a 22-year-old cat. That's wonderful. Happy birthday to your cat. Does anybody have any questions about our presentation tonight? We have 91 thumbs up, which I greatly appreciate. Before you leave tonight, if you haven't already given us a thumbs up, please do so. Okay? Everybody's talking about everything but what we're talking about. Richard Smith says, prayers for God's Spirit over Ron, Mods, and the EMA family. Much love from Nova Scotia. Stay safe and stay prepared, everyone. Please show Ron some love and smash that button before you go. Thank you, Richard. We appreciate it. How are you guys faring in Nova Scotia? Have the flood waters gone down? Because we're not getting any information over here. We're not getting hardly any information at all about what's going on there in Nova Scotia. So what's happening, guys? What's happening? Okay? I appreciate you guys keeping up with these earthquakes. Another 2.2 earthquake in Tres Pinos, just south of Monterey Bay, California. Garrison Tella says, bet you're tired, Ron. Hope you get some rest soon. Oh yes, I'm tired. I didn't get to sleep until after 4 a.m. this morning because things were happening. We had a fire truck roll past the place where I lived this morning. 2 fire trucks, an ambulance, and a sheriff's car flying down here, code, lights and sirens, up the road here. Don't know where they were going because we couldn't smell any smoke, couldn't see it, couldn't see the fire, nothing. Yes, we have a lot of tall trees around here. That's why we didn't get much sleep at all last night. Some fire here locally. Texas lady says, my backyard dog barks when there's an earthquake. She barked at 5:11 p.m. Later I checked the map and yes, there was one at Hermley, Texas at 2.4. Maybe less than 100 miles as the crow flies. That 2.4 probably was a 5.0. If you're feeling a 2.4 minor earthquake that nobody should ever feel, okay, only very minor or very, what shall I say, talented people that are very sensitive can feel a 2.4 earthquake. Dogs can probably feel it or hear it because yes, dogs hear the scraping of the rocks that cause the earthquake. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. Reflection says, gotta get going. Thank you, Ron, for the information, Washington State. I love you. I appreciate that. Okay? There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in southeastern Alaska, all the way down the western coast of British Columbia, all the way down into Mexico from northern California. A ton of stuff going on. Minor earthquakes and tremors all over the place. And even 3.0, 4.0 earthquakes in Southern California. Tomorrow night we're going to be talking about emergency preparedness. Please have your questions ready about emergency preparedness tomorrow night. Okay? The whole program tomorrow night is going to be centered around emergency preparedness. Okay? And yes, Rob says, thank you for the services of fire and police. I totally agree. Somebody may have lost one of their relatives. Yes, fire engines roll on medical calls. We don't know. 2 fire engines and an ambulance and a sheriff's vehicle roared by here just before 4 o'clock this morning. It's incredible. Incredible. I am going to have a field day with some scriptures here. Okay? Tonight's scripture reading is coming from Hebrews chapter 2. Hebrews chapter 2, 6, 7, and 8. Hebrews chapter 2, verses 6, 7 and 8. In verse 6 it starts. But one in a certain place testified, saying, What is man, that thou art mindful of him? Or the Son of Man, that thou visitest him? Thou madest him a little lower than the angels. Thou crownedst him with glory and honor, and didst set him over the works of thy hands. Thou hast put all things in subject under his feet. For in that he put all in subjection under him, he left nothing that is not put under him. And now we are not yet all things put under him. We're not yet all things put under him because there are people that don't want to be subject to Jesus Christ. They don't realize. Some people today do not realize that even though they refuse to give heed to the message of Christ, they're still subject to him. And one day they're going to find a very hard lesson because they don't think they're subject to Jesus Christ. All of us are. All of us are charged to be mindful of Jesus Christ. Folks, that song, well, actually, it is a song from Hebrews, but it has been put to music. And yes, I believe I have that music, and I will find it. Maybe I'll play it for you tomorrow night. That is one of my favorite scriptures. So folks, think about this. Think about being subject to the commandments, to our promises to the Savior. Let us be on covenant paths with Jesus Christ. That's where we should be, on covenant paths. And I have a lot more to say about that maybe tomorrow night. But that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. May God bless you. May God be with you. Always. Everybody needs the Savior. Everybody needs our Heavenly Father. May God bless you all. We love you very much. Thank you for being here. Please check your subscriptions and make sure you're still subscribed to this channel. Again, YouTube is unsubscribing people. I caught them again. A couple people came back right away. We are close to 1,500 subscribers. 1,500 subscribers. We're very close. Let's put us over 1,500, guys. Then 2,000, then 23,000, or 2,300, then 4,000, 5,000, 10,000, 25,000 subscribers. Oh, it took me 4 years to get them the last time. I hope we can get them this year. Now, folks, I love you. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you have a plan. Make sure you have an emergency preparedness plan. Make sure you have an emergency preparedness kit, and make sure you have water, especially during these hot days. Now, folks, before I came out to work on this program, I've been working on it off and on all day, but earlier this afternoon, we found out that it was 110 degrees out here on our patio, and it may have been a lot hotter than that, upwards of 120 degrees on our patio. Folks, take care of each other. Drink lots of water. Love each other. Share your testimonies of the gospel. Share this program with everybody that you know, your family and extended family. Share it with the people you work with, your neighbors and friends, and even your social media contacts. That's how much or how important this channel is. May God be with you. this day and always. I really do care. I care very much for all of you. I hope you have a great night. If anything else happens tonight, we'll be back here on the air to tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. Until then, we will see you tomorrow evening with Emergency Management Associates Preparedness. Have a great night, guys. Take care. I love you very much. We'll see you on the other side. Good night, everybody.